Hello and welcome to Inside Penguins Hockey, presented by Heritage Valley and you, uniquely connected for life. I'm your host, Dan Potash. You know, with the shortened schedule this year, the Penguins will not play any teams from the Western Conference this season, which means no trips home for Joe Vitale. Now, Joe actually made a trip to his hometown of St. Louis to play his first NHL game last season, completing a lifelong dream.
This is where I went to grade school, St. Justin the Martyr. I went there from kindergarten through 6th grade, and that's where all my brothers and sisters who went there. It was like kind of our parish school.
Strolling through the old neighborhood is nothing new for Joe Vitale, since he still calls St. Louis home, where his childhood memories will never fade. That's especially true here, where the center first learned to play the game.
I was about 5 years old, and I came out. My two older brothers, they wanted to learn to play, and I wanted to too. And the rink was split up into 3 sections: the younger kids, the middle kids, and then the older kids. But everyone was the first time. So I was at the far end with my older brothers, thinking I could keep up with them. And I remember the coach came out and said, "Boy, you don't belong here. Go all the way at the other end of the ice with all the new kids." And there were like 3-year-old girls and boys skating around here. I'm a 5-year-old, but I couldn't skate. I was the worst one out there. And so that was a reality check for sure.
Those early days were not always pleasant. Falling down became a regular thing on the ice, but in time, that would change.
We'd take him off the ice on defense, give him a 15-20 second break, and we'd be putting him right back up on a forward shift. So, you know, he was one of those guys where he could play anything, he'd do anything for you, and never complain, just a workhorse.
I had to coach the score team one year, and I remember this kid on the score team. He was playing defense at the time. He was like a man among boys at 10 years old. So you kind of remember that name.
A good coach can always spot good talent, even when that talent is at its earliest stage. Vitale was not polished, but his raw skill would develop.
He caught on real quick. I mean, he was the best of the bunch from the time he started to the time he left. He always had that fire, work hard. I mean, you're never going to work harder than Joe Vitale.
As a mite, Joe would make his first travel team, where even the hot summer of St. Louis could not keep him from getting on the ice.
My parents were sending me and my brothers off all summer long to like hockey schools all over the country, you know, and we always joke now that they did it to kind of get us out of the house because I'm one of 6, so you can imagine what that house is like. So we were always going to Minnesota and Detroit and Chicago and all these hockey camps, and but it worked out well because in the summer in St. Louis at the time, that was when everyone played baseball. So, you know, my brothers and I, we were going up north and all these hockey schools, and so when August and September came, we were kind of like, you know, ahead of the game and kind of starting to pass up our competition a little bit.
It was all hockey all the time for Joe, which was great when it came to perfecting his skills on the ice. As for doing homework, well...
We were in 2nd grade. Mrs. Stroop, man, she was tough, but I didn't do my homework assignment one day, and she asked why I didn't do it, and I said, "Oh, Mrs. Stroop, I had hockey practice last night. You know, I didn't have time." And she said, "Oh, hockey practice, huh?" So my mom got an earful at the end of that day, so which in turn gave me an earful.
The winger would find time for both as a freshman at Christian Brothers College High School in 2001, a relationship that was beneficial for all parties involved.
It's every kid's dream to wear the purple and gold of the CBC cadets, you know, and my dad had gone there, and they just had a great tradition, you know what I mean? And so to be a freshman, my goal my whole life was to play at CBC and win a state championship.
When I first saw him, I thought, lucky us, because here's a kid that was mature beyond his years physically and mentally, and as a freshman for us at 14 years old, I'm thinking, the sky's the limit with this guy.
He would move from defenseman to center, a move that would pay off more than once.
In St. Louis, you're able to play on the club team and at the high school level. So at the high school level, we certainly wanted to hone his skills. You know, we knew we didn't have to reinvent the wheel with him because he certainly had a lot of talent. And you know, he started as a defenseman for us. He ended up playing at center, and that's where he's at still today.
Joe's scoring touch was on display early and often. In 4 seasons at CBC, Vitale would score 172 points.
You know, his freshman year, we probably wouldn't have gotten to the championship without Joe. He had 2 huge goals for us in the semifinals to get us to the championship game. Then his junior year in 03, he was the MVP of the championship game down at Scott Trade. And then senior year, we wouldn't have been anywhere near it without him. So he just played a huge role for us all 4 years he was here.
High school state championship at the time, it's like it's like the Stanley Cup too, you know. I mean, these bleachers were full of, you know, standing room only all around the rink, and all your classmates were there, and girls from different high schools were there. So it was a good time. Go right from school to Affton, and we have a 4 o'clock practice for my high school team. I'd go home for an hour, get a quick bite to eat, come right back to the rink for junior blues practice, you know, and you found that a lot, you know what I mean? It was just a lot of hockey.
Hockey became a full-time gig for Vitale. In 2003, he joined a second team in the Junior Blues, where he had some big skates to fill.
Paul Stasny, Eric Slace, Chris Butler, big names that are in the NHL now, had all played for the Junior Blues. So it was intimidating going into that league and that team. But you know, Jack gave me a great opportunity out of camp. I made the team, and that's when I wanted to kind of really take hockey seriously.
Joe's first year with us, we made it to the national championship game. We lost 1-0. In that game, he actually had a shot hit both posts and not go in. And so he kind of felt like there's a little unfinished business there.
Vitale and the Blues would not miss a second opportunity in 2004, where they would win their first national championship, though a tough decision would follow.
Looking back, should I have gone earlier? Maybe, you know, I would have been pushed a lot sooner, but at the same time, I'm really glad I did it. I got a chance to stay with my family a little bit longer, and to play for CBC and Affton and Junior Blues is a great opportunity for me.
Deciding to stay in school would make an impression that would impact Joe's future and others.
All the hockey experts were telling him, you need to leave town and go and play USHL and do those type of things, which he was certainly capable of doing at that age, but the family values took precedent. And for him to go ahead and still continue to have the success that he had and achieve the things that he's been able to do, you know, shows the younger kids here in town that there's more than one way to go.
A lot of players out of St. Louis, they tend to leave, you know, in high school and think that's the only way to make it. And not that I wanted to prove them wrong, but it just kind of shows you that you can stay here. And St. Louis hockey is developing so well that you can finish all 4 years of high school here, and there's great programs here where you can go on from here, so it's pretty cool.
Hey, I don't have to leave early. I want to do what I want to do and play at the level I want to play at, and I can still go on and play in the NHL or go on and play Division I hockey like Joe did. So he's a huge role model for these kids and everyone here in St. Louis.
He was not the first player to take this road, and he won't be the last. Others will have their high school jersey retired, and the Junior Blues will win more national championships. The next Joe Vitale is coming, but the image of the first will never fade.
This place is my second home. I have more memories here than I think I do of my own home in my house, so in St. Louis. So it's just weird. It seemed like yesterday, me and my brothers were running around and playing in all those arcade games and getting sandwiches from the concession stand and playing hall hockey in the lobby. And it's just, you know, to be here and see that jersey in that lobby of, you know, so many great players come through here and families, it's special. It means a lot to me.